Hey everyone! Hemlock and Oak recently expanded from their planners into the bullet journal world, so today I'm going to be reviewing their brand new A5 bullet journals. Stick around if you want to hear some of the deets. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so firstly I just want to apologize for any background noise. The neighbors are doing a lot of banging around out there, so sorry if that gets really obnoxious. So first, this is what the journal came in, is this cute box. I did already do an unboxing, so it didn't come in with the paper that the journal would have been wrapped in, but otherwise this is how it looked. Came with a cute little thank you card, and on the back is a little, basically a thank you and just kind of what the business in itself is about. So here is the journal itself. So a few stats about it. They have, I think it's 160 pages of 150 GSM paper, which is right up my alley. I have stopped pretty much using anything under 120 just because I can't stand ghosting in my paper. And I will get to the pen test in a second on that note. The entire book in itself is made of recycled products, so recycled paper. The ribbons themselves are made from recycled plastic bottles, which is awesome. It's FSC certified, and if you're anything like me, you probably have no idea what that meant. So what it means is that all of the materials basically come from a responsibly managed forest. And what that means is that these forests are managed in a way that is not only environmentally friendly and sustainable for the forest itself and the ecosystem, but they also keep like social and economic benefits in mind too. So these journals are designed and made in Canada by a family-owned business. It's run by Tia and George, and I've spoken to both of them and they're both really sweet people, and so they made that experience really amazing as well. So the journal that I got is an A5 size. This one is in the color ecru, which is kind of like a beigey linen kind of color. So they make planners, and now they're just getting into the bullet journal world. So the bullet journals themselves come in dot grid and like the graph grid. The cover itself is like this woven linen material, and it is really nice. It feels very textury, which I love. It is not stain resistant, so if you're like me and you're messy, this could be a little dangerous in that sense. But I mean, it feels really nice. It kind of feels like, well, I guess like linen. I was gonna say like canvas, but I don't know, softer. So I will open this up and show you the inside of it. Oh yeah, first I wanted to point out that this binding, I mean, if you guys have been following my own journey of making journals, you probably know that I'm a little bit of a nerd for this stuff now. But look at that binding. I know there's a name for this, but I forget what it's called. I'm just going to call it the binding of the spine now. It's really beautiful. Yeah, she pretty. Alright, so moving on. It does lay flat, which is of the utmost importance for me when writing and drawing, so that is fantastic. The paper is like super soft, it's very smooth. So at the front we have like the cardstock and pages, which I'm pretty sure are recycled. Well, everything is recycled, so I guess that goes without saying. But it has this cute kind of speckly appearance to it. Then we've got this book belongs to kind of page with contact information if you wish to fill it out. I never really fill this out, but I've started kind of like decorating this whole page with like whatever, a picture of me and my husband or whatever. And then there's an index page. I literally never use index pages in anything, so I won't be using that either, but I'll probably again fill it in with something cute just to take up the space. And then it goes straight into the dot grid. I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but all of the pages are numbered down here in the corner. I'll bring it up so you can actually see it. There's all of the numbers there. As you can see, the pages aren't rounded either. Everything is a straight 90. The notebooks come with 3 bookmark ribbons, which is nice. All complementary colors too, which is also satisfying. And like I said, they're all made from recycled plastic bottles, which is awesome. I don't know if I ever need 3, but I mean, it's better to have too many than not enough. At the end, we have, of course, the cardstock again, and we have the pen test page. Well, it wasn't a pen test page, it wasn't labeled, but that's what I, of course, made it into. I generally use markers and pens in mine. I don't use watercolor very much, but I did test it with the watercolor as well, just to make sure. So I generally use Tombows and Crayolas in my notebook, so of course that's what I tested with. A base layer of Tombow, of course, did not have any ghosting or bleeding, which was perfect. Then I tried with a heavier hand. I did 4 layers, one after the other, without letting the ink dry. And that did ghost a little bit, but I mean, it's barely noticeable. The Crayola Super Tip again had 0 ghosting or bleeding, which I would expect. Then I moved on to the Sharpie, and we all know how harsh Sharpie permanent markers are on any paper. So I expected this to bleed a little bit, and it did. It's faint. I was relatively light-handed, so I don't think anyone ever uses Sharpies in their notebook, and if they are doing that, then, I mean, what do you expect? Then I went on to the watercolor. So I first started with like a minimal amount of water and basically just color. I used the Winsor & Newton tubes, and so the little bit of water had absolutely no effect. Then I got heavy with the water, and at first it started to crinkle when I was using it, but honestly, as it dried, it kind of flattened out. It's slightly warped, like you can see the little bit of bowing there. But I mean, it's still very minimal, so I'm impressed. And so when I was talking to George, who, like I said, co-owns Hemlock and Oak, he said that some people were reporting that they could actually peel off their stickers and reposition them, which is interesting because I've owned a lot of notebooks where you can't do that, where once it's on, and if you pull it up, you're gonna rip the paper. So I tried it, and it actually did work. I put the sticker on and then peeled it off immediately and moved it, and there was no tugging, there was no fraying or anything, so that was great. But it's been sitting on there a while now, so I'm gonna try again and see if it still works. This is where it's handy to have long nails. Yeah, and it worked I mean, there was a slight tug there where I kind of got a little hasty and tugged too fast, but I mean, otherwise that actually worked really well. I have been told that it might have something to do with the actual adhesive that's used on certain stickers, so this might not apply to all stickers, but it applied to this one. And it went back on without any issue too. So yeah, there you go, you can reposition your stickers. Now, as for drawing and pen, it works really well. Pen felt super smooth on it when I was writing, like even back then in my pen test, when I was just writing basically out what my tools were there. It felt really smooth, no kind of texture or stickiness, which is good. And pencil, obviously, I mean, pencil worked on everything anyway, but without looking too much, don't look. Pencil feels really good on it, so that's nice. And yeah, no complaints. Honestly, it's a gorgeous journal, and I'm really excited to be using it for 2022, or for the next half of 2022. If you are interested in grabbing one yourself, I've got a 10% discount code down below in the description. It is an affiliate code, so if you use that link, it does support me a little bit at no extra cost to you. Wow, and not so surprisingly, I forgot to film an outro for this video entirely, so that is it for this video. I hope it was enjoyable, and I hope it gave you some information that you needed on this journal if you were planning to get one yourself. Like I said, I do have the discount code down below in the description if you're interested in buying one. And otherwise, I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.